Hey everybody, I know it's been a little bit. Sorry, there's been a couple things that have been going on. So, welcome to episode 6 of Fired Up. We're going to dive in today. I know that at the end of our last episode, I had said that I was going to talk about the whole Iran thing. I'm going to bypass that. And here's the reason why. There's a lot of hate going on right now. And I'm going to give you some examples and get into this a little deeper. Before I do, check out below, subscribe to the channel, like it, share it, get us out there. Let's get a big fan base going and start interacting with each other. And communication is key, and let's just keep going, kind of like Charlie Kirk would do. You want to argue about something? Let's do it the right way. You don't agree with me? That's fine. Say something. Tell me. Let's talk about it. You don't agree with another viewer? Talk with them about it. You've got messaging that you can communicate back and forth with. Just keep it clean, and don't be rude or violent towards each other. And everything will be all good. And I am driving by 2 gold Teslas right now with California tags, and there's nobody driving them. There's nobody in the cars, but they're driving down the road. All right. Anywho, let's get on here. For the 3rd time in 19 months, there was a potential threat to our president's life. First, you had a liberal, far-left liberal, young individual who almost succeeded in his efforts. We then turned to an older gentleman in Florida who is a little bit kooky. If you watched any of the news footage and paid attention, his daughter's a whack job, but he was going to take that opportunity upon himself. And then here this past Saturday at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, a complete whack job from California, 30-year-old teacher with ties to extreme liberalism. If I said that right. Comes out running, firing. And if you watch the footage of him, President Trump said it best when he said it's kind of like you watch the fastest running back in the NFL just take off like lightning right past you. I don't understand why there is so much hatred towards our president. I really don't. In this 19-month period, or should I say in this term, he has done more for this country than any of his predecessors over the last 30 or 40 years combined. You make tips for a living? You're not paying any tax on those tips, are you? I didn't. It's right there when I filled out my 1099 this year on the Schedule C. Entered my tax, entered my income, entered my tips. Boink! All of that tax disappeared with those tips. Beautiful. No taxes on those. And nobody else that works in the industry of where you earn tips for your living, I guarantee you didn't have to pay taxes on any of your tips under I believe it's $65,000. You go over 65 or 45, it's one of the two. I know it's a big difference. You go over, and yes, you will have to pay, I believe it's a 10% tip, or 10% tax on your tips. But who am I to argue with that? It saves me a lot of money. When we look at the past 19 months, and you compare that to the 8 years under Obama and the 4 years under Snoozy Sniffer, if I'm not mistaken, that's like 140, is it 148 months? Yeah, 148 months. Not one attempted assault on either one of them from the right. No Republican, no conservative, no independent, and definitely no Democrat took a shot or even attempted to get a shot off towards them. 148 months and 0 attempts versus 19 months and 3. I guess we now see who the mental cases are. It is not the Republicans. It is not the right. It is not independents, even though Bernie Sanders is a nut job himself. It is the Democrat Party. Add to that one of the most disgusting things I think I've ever seen was good old Jimmy Kimmel coming out just minutes before the gunfire happened at the Correspondents' Dinner, doing his fake Correspondents' Dinner speech, made a statement about how the First Lady, Melania Trump, looked radiant as an expectant widow, implying that her husband was going to be killed or wind up dead. I don't understand where that is allowed. That to me, Jimmy Kimmel, and I agree with President Trump, ABC, you need to fire him, because that is insinuating a violent act of aggression, hinting that our president will be dead and she'll be a widow. It's very, very sickening to hear things like that. I didn't like Obama. I could have cared less about him. Pissed me off when he gave billions away, especially to Iran, go figure. And it wasn't his money, but he just gave it to him. It was what it was. And people found that he was extremely corrupt. And I know that he can't be racist, which I don't agree with that either. But him and his husband, Michael, are very prejudiced. And that's very, very evident in what you watch of the footage and the things that he says now. But I never wished harm on him. Same with Joe Biden. The man was dumber than a box of rocks at his age when he took the president's office. I mean, you had to hold him up with walking sticks attached to both of his legs under his pants. If he wasn't busy drifting off into space while standing there looking at a cloud, while everybody else was posing for pictures, and you have to have the Italian president come pull you back, there's something not right upstairs. I think Oliver North said it best when he stated, "I do not recall." That should be the whole entire 4 years under Joe Biden, where he does not recall anything that happened. I never wished any harm on him. I don't think any Republicans wished any harm on him. If anything, we felt sorry for him. But the extreme tactics and rhetoric that this Democratic Party is putting out there is making things way worse. Instead of promoting unity, even though they claim that they are, they're promoting the violence. They're promoting the negative vibe, if you would, and the hostilities towards our president, our elected president. Keep that word in mind. Elected by the people, with a lot of votes making the difference. A lot. So I leave you today with this thought. I want you to ask yourself, what can I do every day to try to stop the hate? Very, very simple question. Or is it? What can I do each day to stop the hate? Ask yourselves. Ask your spouse. Ask your children. Ask your neighbor. But see what everybody wants to try to do. Because if we can all work together, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, unaffiliated voters, if we all work together and we stop this insanity that's going on with these talk show hosts, The View, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen, whatever his name is, the other loser, knock them off. And I don't mean that in a violent way, but you knock them off their pedestals, take them off the air, it's all done. Democrats will have nothing else to say. Kind of like Mr. Joaquin Jeffries saying, oh, well, we're not trying to avoid funding this, that, Secret Service, the military, flight directors, things like that. We just don't want to pay ICE, and we don't want to pay department or the people. His exact words were, we don't want to pay the people that are going after the people that ICE is arresting and taking them away. He wants open borders. Again. Dumbest thing you could do. But that's what the Democrats are holding on to. Open borders, everything free for illegals. And because I think it's because they know that they'll work for a lot cheaper than natural-born Americans or citizens. And it'll save companies money. They can put them all in these little shanties that you see where it was a regular 4-bedroom house, and now they've broken it down to where it's 4 one-bedroom apartments with a shared kitchen and a shared living space. and they charge them $1,000 a month, and they fit 4 people into each apartment, making a killing. But anywho, I'll catch y'all next week, hopefully. I don't know what we're going to cover next week. I have to watch and wait and see. But be kind to each other. Give that question I asked you a thought. See what you can come up with. Drop it in the comment section. And we'll reflect on it at some point. Have a great week. Out.